Swedish summer is one of the most underrated things we have. People don't know how good it is. We have some very good traditions. We have some very good like summer party culture, but also like just enjoying family and everything like that, classic stuff. But just the weather it's not too hot, not too humid, just perfect to go to the beach, perfect to go anywhere, and you don't need to worry too much about I can't be outside, it's too hot. So no, I highly recommend everyone to visit Sweden in summer. If not, you can also try winter, but I know that's maybe not for everyone.
Swedish people, most people are pretty social. I don't agree with the way people say they're a bit awkward socially or they are more cold. I would say they're one of the warmest countries in the north, at least.
Sweden, pretty big country. We're very tall, kind of narrow. It's about 3 hours to drive across, or 4 hours to drive across, but it takes maybe 20 hours to drive from top to bottom, maybe even more. It's a bigger country than people think.
So welcome to another episode of my podcast, World to the Max. Today I'm with another guest, this time from Sweden. His name is Isak. How are you, Isak?
I'm very good. Happy to be here.
Yes. So, quick story, like always, we've met through football. It's not very original, but we actually played in the same team in Reading, which is in the United States.
Good times.
It's been, a long time actually, almost 3 to 4 years maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
We've tried to stay in touch. Of course, it's difficult, but always happy to talk with you, man.
Yeah, same to you. Out of the guys in Reading, I think you're the one of few that I've had the most contact with.
So we've actually played in a team where it was full of different nationalities. So from Europeans to Southern Americans or Northern Americans, all over the place. So what do you make out of it? Like if you have to talk about different countries or like the fact that we were just playing all together.
I mean, it's really cool when you have that kind of short amount of time together and you still get to know each other a lot. And you see there's so many different side of people that you didn't know existed. Like, is that a cultural thing or is that just him? Because some part of that too, you know.
That's true.
But no, it's very fun, very interesting. I think it's easy to click with the Americans because they're always talking so much and they're always so energetic and they want to do things. But the most common fun we had was when it's like us Europeans and maybe the Australian guy.
Yeah.
Just had a calm night, play a few games, mess with each other.
That's true.
It's really fun. I had a great time then.
I did too. I did. And it's like the question I had was maybe we're in college, we don't really have things to worry about. So maybe it's easier. Do you think it's because of it or do you think it's just like the way we just played together and didn't really think too much? We just had fun.
I think when you're in college, you also have to worry about classes. You have to worry about going to like socialize out in campus. When we were in Reading, there was nothing else around. We had the pool place like a bit away, and then we had each other.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
We were pretty isolated out there.
Yeah. And so I think it's the best thing you can have for like a football team where it's like you need your players to connect and do things together.
No, I agree. Well, what do you think? What was the biggest difference between if you were to compare a Swede to a Swiss or the Americans to the Ukrainian? Or
yeah,
like are there a big difference? Like something stood out? Like, oh, this guy is different.
Yeah. And that's a good point. I think you said it right. Like the Americans are very hospitable. They try to make you feel welcome in like a public space. Some people see it as fake in a way where it's like when you want to get into a deeper level, it's not as deep. But that's what I love about this podcast as well, because you also understand people are just raised the way they are. And I don't think there is a bad way or a good way, but I think Europeans connect better because of this, because we're slower to connect and just, I would say, more honest. We don't try to make you feel good. We just act the way we are in a way.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that also makes when we connect, it becomes a bit stronger, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I completely agree, yeah.
But yeah, I would say it's me personally, the way I experience Sweden, I would say Swedish people is most people are pretty social. I don't agree with the way people say they're a bit awkward socially or they are more cold. I would say they're one of the warmest countries in the north at least.
Ah, you see. Good.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was lucky with the people I met, or
No, I
that's
mean,
what
of course you're lucky. You met me, no?
that was the hidden compliment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly. But that's the way some people would say, Spanish people are rude because you met two Spanish people and maybe you just met the wrong one, bro. Yeah, what do you make of French people? You probably met a couple of them.
Yeah, I met a couple. I think you can stand out because you're not one of the arrogant ones, you know? You know that there are France is not perfect.
No.
You love France maybe obviously, but it's not perfect. But some people choose to only show that, oh, I'm French and French is the best. It's up here, you know? Beautiful language, the best food, blah blah. And yeah, sure, it might be, but
Yeah.
there's some flaws to France too, you know? And I think you're very open minded with that. But other French people I met, some of them were really arrogant, which was maybe a negative, but you definitely lifted up the image of, for me, the French image of good people. You lifted it up, you know?
Good. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I got you.
And Sweden, I've actually been to Sweden once and we were actually close. We didn't meet, but we were close enough to meeting.
Yeah, you had a trip there.
Yeah, I did. I was a little bit too much. I've never been that much up north in my life.
No, I don't think you can ask anyone that's coming on the show or anyone watching if they try to Google Kiruna and see where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's been higher than that.
Tell me about this region.
I mean, up north. Well, I live in Sweden. We Stockholm is like southeast. We have Malmö, Gothenburg, the big city southwest, and then you have the northern coast and the northern part, which is like I live about halfway of the country, and then the other half up top is just woods and mountains. And when you came to Sweden, you took from where I live. It's about 10 hours north from where I am. So
Yeah.
you had a trip for sure.
Yeah. I arrived in the middle of nowhere and it was, I think in May, you could still see some snow outside. So
Yeah, but the sun didn't set though. Almost, it was only dark for a couple hours.
that's true. That's true. That's one of the crazy things where we're gonna talk about this like in a few minutes
Yes.
about the weather in Sweden. But Sweden also, if you have to give us like a specific location where it's at, in what continent, etc.
Sweden is part of Scandinavia up north and like kind of centrally aligned, but in the north part of Europe, one of the most northern countries. It's a pretty big country. We're very tall, kind of narrow. It's about 3 hours to drive across or 4 hours to drive across, but it takes maybe 20 hours to drive from top to bottom, maybe even more. It's a bigger country than people think, I think.
Yeah, it's huge. That's why when I went there, I was up north, and you don't realize how far you are from Stockholm. That's like the south of Sweden.
Yeah.
I feel like,
I had a trip where I was visiting my grandma in Napoli,
Mhm.
in Italy. And then she had wanted to take her car home, but she's a bit too old to drive it herself. So I drove the car from Naples to my city up north in
wow,
Sweden. And that took maybe like a week, about 10 days to drive. I made a few stops. I drove to Barcelona. I went to Amsterdam and Denmark and some places. But just going from when you enter Sweden in Malmo, then you have about the 2 days to get back home.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's a big drive.
That's actually crazy that you decided to do this, driving all the way from Sweden to
Yeah.
like the south of Europe.
I mean, it's amazing. It's so many beautiful places. The south coast of France and west coast of Italy is beautiful. Barcelona, the French landscapes are amazing. You go to Amsterdam and you see all the beautiful scenery and like the biking culture they have there. Europe is an amazing place, but I really, after that trip, I'm not a big fan of Rome. I gotta say, I went to a restaurant my first night when I came to Rome, and when I came back to the car, someone popped open the trunk and took everything out.
Wow,
So I got robbed of my passport, my computer, my clothes, my everything.
that's crazy.
All I had left was the 2 boxes of wine. They didn't take.
Well, in general, Europe is amazing. That's what we love about it is you can just drive from country to country in a few hours and have complete different cultures and
Yeah.
landscape.
Absolutely.
So going back to what we were talking about, earlier about the weather because Sweden is known for the cold weather, but tell us more about the weather and how the sun sets and etc.
Yeah. So since we're further north, we have kind of tilted, well, a part of the globe that's tilted the most. So during the winter time, we are tilted away from the sun. So that means we only see the sun a couple hours during the day, and most of the time it's dark. We get the sun come up at about 11 noon, goes down at 2 p.m. So it's up for about 3-4 hours. If you go even further north, you might not see it at all. It might just go like just behind the mountains in the horizon, so you barely see the sun in the winter. But then on the other side, in summer, midsummer, where I'm at, the sun just go down behind the mountain for like an hour and then it's up again. It's never dark, the sky is always blue, and it's just incredible. So then you have some time in between there. Like the winter time is amazing. You get really enjoy the sun when it's there. Really got to take care of it. And it's not as cold as you think when this about zero humidity. Like all the water in the air and the humidity it's too cold for the water to stay in the air. So it's really dry cold, which makes it more manageable. It doesn't feel as cold. So I usually tell people that I would rather take negative 15 Celsius than zero. Because
Yeah,
the zero is wet, it feels so cold, it goes through your bones. But if it's negative 15, it's dry and it's clean. It's underrated, I'd say.
no, that's a good point actually. You actually feel I don't know why. Sometimes it actually feels colder when it's zero. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point.
So when it's really cold, it doesn't like it's sometimes negative 30. But I would still almost rather have negative 30 than like negative 2 or plus 2, because
Yeah,
then it really gets to you. So, but that's only for a part of the year. And then in the summer, we have, I think Swedish summer is one of the most underrated things we have. People don't know how good it is. You can see online, you can Google it. Swedish summer is incredible. We have some very good traditions. We have some very good like summer party culture, but also like just enjoying family and everything like that, classic stuff. But just the weather is it's not too hot, not too humid. It's not as windy and rainy. We have uh, just perfect to go to the beach, perfect to go anywhere, and you don't need to worry too much about, I can't be outside, it's too hot. So no, I highly recommend everyone to visit Sweden in summer. If not, you can also try winter, but I know that's not maybe not for everyone.
yeah, that's a good description. So the thing I actually didn't know this, the fact that in Sweden, when it's winter, you almost don't see the sun, and when it's summer, you see it all the time. So well, I would say what's the impact on people's, I would say, mood?
It's a It's a big culture thing. When the sun comes out in May, in June, like this period of time, maybe late April, the sun comes out, it gets warmer. Everybody puts out a barbecue and starts having like afternoon dinner parties and stuff like that outside, even if it might be still too cold. But the sun is out, winter's gone, and we really enjoy that time. When the summer is coming and the sun is about to start tilting towards never going down, it's a great time to be around.
Yeah, I've checked it out the things on Google or on social media. What's the day called? Like the longest day in Sweden?
Yeah, it's called sommarsolståndet.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. I don't know what's called in English, but sommarsolståndet, that's when it's like at its peak, the longest day of the year.
yeah, and you guys party crazy like.
Yeah, but you also have like the actual tradition of Midsummer, which is the middle of summer, and that is always a big, yeah, either a party or a family gatherings, depending on what kind of
Mhm. Yeah,
family or traditions that you hold. But for us, it's more family oriented. It's not as much party as it is for others.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. One other thing that I always discuss about every country is the language. So tell me about the Swedish language and the relationship you have with English, because I know most Scandinavian countries are pretty good at English.
Yeah. Um, so when I've been around and traveled in Europe and in the US and I've seen different cultures, a lot of more southern part of Europe, when they watch TV and they watch movies, they dub their movies. When you watch the old TV show Friends, you watch it in French,
Hmm.
for example, or you see some movies that are supposed to be in French, the Italian people see it in Italian.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow is speaking in Spanish, for people in Spain. You know, we don't do that. When we watch Swedish movies in Swedish, we watch French movies in French, we watch English movies in English. So you can see what the people are actually saying, but you also get the subtitles so you can translate and help yourself. And since most movies and TV shows that we watch up here are from US or England, we get a lot of just influence with the English from everywhere. So it's a part of the daily life to know and understand English for a lot of people. So that's a big help. I think that's an underrated part of why Scandinavians might be better than more Mediterranean-based countries.
Fair enough. And what about the Swedish language? Is it similar to any other language? Probably the one next to Sweden.
Yeah. So we have our neighbors Finland, Norway, Denmark. We have a different relationship with all of them based on the language. We have very close language to the Norwegian side because they can speak Norwegian to us and we speak Swedish to them, and we understand each other. We understand each other pretty good.
Mhm.
But the Finnish side is impossible. No one can understand Finnish. They're so far off, so it's not even close. And then the Danish is like when you have in between German and Swedish, but you put a sausage in their mouth. So they just make some weird noises like they're eating, and they come interpreted as words. So we're pretty close to Norway. Denmark is strange, but Finland is on a different planet. We don't have no one has an idea what it's.
Okay. I've heard some Finnish people speak. I just, well, to me, it sounds pretty similar to a Swedish person, probably because I don't understand what they're saying.
Maybe, but it's the spelling, the grammar, the words. It's very, very different.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how to compare it. It's like comparing French to Serbian.
Well, yeah.
It's not even remotely similar.
Well, the next question is about Swedish people in general. So it's always difficult to say, oh, Swedish people are like this, but well, let's be like let's give how a typical Swedish person is.
So in Sweden, we are two sides of Swedes, basically. In some sections, some areas of life, we are very open and inviting and talkative and nice. But at the same time, when we're on our everyday schedule and we're going places, we're all very closed in, just more like, don't look at me, don't talk to me. If we're on a bus and there's people sitting one in each section and there's an empty chair next to everyone, a lot of Swedes would just stand, not to sit right next to someone. So then you have like personal space is pretty big. So we the big respect for that. But at the same time, we're all very kind and easy to talk to. But at the same time, it's more introverted. But obviously, there are cases with people who are more extro.
Yeah, you're definitely the most extroverted Swedish person.
I've gotten that before, so that's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in general, I think doing this podcast probably made me realize that the norther you go, probably the colder people are, even though it's not essentially true, but like usually colder countries are the one in the north and warmer are the one in the south in terms of personality. Couple stereotypes I learned doing my research. The first one is that it's difficult for someone from outside to become friends with Swedish people.
Yeah, that's true. If there's a Swedish group of people and there's someone else that is moving in or being alongside them, it's very tough to break into the already designed group.
Mhm.
If there are three guys that grew up together and then there's another guy moving in and going to the same class and university with them, it's very difficult for those three to let in the fourth person. Not because they don't want to, but because just generally it's how it is. We're open and talkative and nice, but we're not always very inviting to our personal groups and friend groups. And that's a reoccurring issue we have, especially here, like within teams or within universities. When people move in from all over to one place, we have some university cities where it's not a lot of people go to the university from that city, but most people move in. Then there will be groups where everyone's new, so everyone finding new friends, and that's fine. But if you're in a bigger city's university where people that know each other come in together, and then there's some people from outside, those are kind of struggling to find friends since they're already made groups. And it's very difficult to break or to increase or to move around those groups. Generally, they start big when you're kids, and then they get smaller and smaller as you grow older.
Okay, interesting. So you would say socially with the relationship with strangers, is it difficult to communicate with strangers or
It's a bit, I don't want to say it's a little bit kind of American, which I noticed there as well.
Mhm,
The American part of people, since we were there playing together for a couple of years,
mhm,
they're very easy to talk to and very nice to talk to for 5, 10 minutes. They can talk about anything, about sports, about weather, about anything. But then to actually get to know them and have that deep conversation for 30 minutes or for an hour, that takes some trust you need to gain and to get them to open up.
mhm.
While the Swede is more, we're very nice for 30 seconds. And then if you want to try to go more, it's usually you might get stuck for 30. So it's that's what my opinion. Some Swedes might not agree with me, but I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Actually, still it's still around this topic. When I went to Sweden, I didn't know this, but it's a country that consumes a lot of coffee. It's like the coffee time is a huge thing. So tell me about this.
Yeah, we have a tradition called Fika, Fika, which is a big cultural, basically, what do you say? It's a sacred tradition for us. Every day you have the morning coffee. And if you, depending on what you work with, if you work in the office, you have 9:30 Fika. And then you have a 2:30 Fika in between lunch, you know? And it's almost mandatory. You have to get a coffee and maybe a cookie or something to it
Mhm.
and just sit down and not work and stop what you're doing just to sit down. You need that, like the coffee time. So the fika is essential for everyone. If you work in a manufacturing business or if you start early at 7 as like in some labor, then you might have the 10 o'clock fika or the 9 o'clock fika. It's so important. People don't mess with fika. If you want to change and take fika at 9:15, now the older guys will say, no way. Drop what you're doing. We're having fika now. So it's not just like, oh, the fika is the coffee. No, the fika is the action of sitting down and having coffee together with someone. No,
That's
it's a really big thing, and I think we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I never heard of this from Sweden before I went there. So it's like some things about Sweden, for example, I don't know, the big industries or sports or cold weather, but this is not something that's really exported in terms of culture.
No, no, we don't, because we don't have to export it. We don't have to tell everyone, wow, do the same as us. No, because we just know that this is the best. This is how you do it. It's like if you tell a Spanish person, why do you guys take siesta? Well, we take fika twice a day at least.
Fair enough. Yeah, because then it's like it's a big industry there. Yeah, I don't know if it's the first or the second country that drinks the most coffee in the world.
I think we're number one per capita since we're not so many people and we're
Mhm.
about 10 million
Yeah.
country. I think
Only
we
10
drink.
million.
Yeah, I think we're well.
Yeah, then that's the one. Because obviously you can compete with the 100 millions of people from other countries. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, interesting. So also Sweden is always one of the top countries in terms of quality of life. I think it went down a bit the last couple of years, but tell me about why first, why it has good quality of life, and then why it has gotten down the last couple of years.
I think we have a really good like social security support kind of system.
Hmm.
Those that are having struggles, it's free access almost for healthcare and for education and for some shelter housing for people that are really struggling. And we have a big a big section of different fundings you can apply for to get from the government if you're disabled, if you cannot work, if you're sick, if you're anything. Everyone gets to be taken care of by the government. But then you also have, as I said, free healthcare for everyone. You have free education up through university. So university is free, and you also get paid by the government to study. So if you want to study, you get about 350 euros or dollars a month. And then you can apply to also add on another 700. So you can like pay your rent, to get food, and get what you need with government money, basically, to go through university.
Yeah.
So you can go through everything without having a job until you're at 21 after university or whatever line or program you're going through. So university is accessible for everyone. Healthcare is accessible for everyone. We have a big, pretty proud of how we treat parents when they have a newborn. You have a lot of time off. I don't want to lie, but it's like 200 days they get to share, something like that. I don't know the specific number, but it's
Hmm.
a lot that the either the mom or dad can decide how much the mom will have to take off or how much the dad can take off. But
Hmm.
it's a very good system for everyone in society. Then we have some higher taxes, so we don't have like the highest of highs of the rich people, but we also don't have the low of the struggling people. So we have more. Everyone is more on the same level. We
Hmm.
still have some really wealthy people, of course, wealthy parts of the country. There's a very few that are down there. But I believe now these days it has lowered a bit. We've gone down in like school ratings and results. We've gone down, and a lot of crime has increased down south, which is due to many things. But I think if we keep going the way we're going now, it's gonna get better. So we're moving up again. I believe
Okay.
it's a positive.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sweden is also seen as like 10 million people in such a big place. It's not supposed to be chaos like some very concentrated cities or countries. How big is nature in Sweden?
I mean, we have this thing called Jantelagen, which is also pretty big. You can go out, and the nature is free for everyone. You don't need to buy a park access or a season pass to go through a park or go hiking, or go open up a tent in the woods somewhere. You can just go. You can put a tent on in someone's farm for one night if you really have to sit down there.
Hmm.
So there's jantelagen is like allemansrätten as well. Förlåt, jantelagen is something else. Allemansrätten. It means like all man's rights to nature.
Wow.
So you can come here, you can go anywhere in the woods, no one will stop you. You can go pick berries, you can go eat fruit or mushrooms or something you find in the woods to survive.
Hmm.
So, and as you say, we have 10 million people in a very big country, so there's a lot of nature to explore. Most of it in the middle of the country is not. It's a lot of woods. We have so much forest, and a lot of it looks the same. I
Okay.
actually had one of my teammates from the US, or two of them, came to play with us in Fika here in Sweden. So they flew to Stockholm and then they took the train up. And when they look out the window, it looked the same for the whole road. Just trees and trees and trees and trees. And then it stopped by a city, and then it went for another hour or two, but trees, trees, trees. And then at the end of the 8-hour ride, they were up my city, and the just city popped out of nowhere after just seeing trees and trees and tunnels and trees. So nature's a big thing. We're very proud of it. It might not be as beautiful all the time as the fjords in Norway, maybe, because they have the really high mountains and the really low valleys next to each other with the rivers and the lakes and all that. But we do have a very beautiful nature, and a lot of people come to see it.
Okay. So I've seen something on Google or like on the internet
Hmm.
saying that Swedish people would get rude for things. For example, when you go into someone's house, you're always supposed to take your shoes off.
Yeah,
Is that a true thing or it's like
so true.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't wear shoes inside someone else's house.
So it's like if someone does it, it's like it's not even a thing.
No, no one does it.
Okay.
No one
Okay.
does it. It never happens. And if
Okay.
you do, you want to ask them. You might just drop someone off and just walk through the house and look at the backyard or whatever. You still ask, "Oh, should I take off my shoes?" And sometimes they say, "No, it's fine. You can just walk through." But most of the time, it's like, "Yeah, we're trying to keep it clean."
Yeah, yeah. For example, where I'm from, well, it's always some people like to do it, some people don't. Okay, but if it's polite to ask, but it's also unpolite to request people to take their shoes off in a way. It's like, okay, we understand you're trying to keep your house clean, but if you ask me to do so, that means okay, I'm not welcome in your house in a way.
Really?
Well,
That's new. I mean, yeah, I hear you, but it's no here. Everyone takes off their shoes, and it's very strange. When we were in the U.S., most of the families we went to, they wore their shoes all the way through the house, and they took their shoes off before they lay down in bed in the room.
mm,
And then you have all your shoes and maybe that smell from shoes inside your bedroom. No thanks.
okay, that's a good point. Well, I would say you usually have like a little furniture next to your door to put your shoes, but if you have visitors or like guests, you don't you don't care because you know you're gonna have to clean behind them.
Maybe, but as well, if we were to invite someone to my house, if you were to come visit, and you see that everyone else takes off their shoes when they walk in, would you be like,
No,
guys, can I keep my shoes on?
no. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, exactly. That's a cultural thing. If you can see everybody does it, then of course you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, and the last thing was the sauna culture. So that's another thing I realized when I went to Sweden is I don't know if it's just a sports thing, but how often do people go to sauna?
Well, I mean, it's I think it's a big part of summertime, also wintertime, of course. But it's the combination of going into the sauna and then jumping into the lake is a big thing. I don't think we can claim it as ours. I think the Finnish people were first to really make a competition out of it and have like the Finnish sauna culture. We're not really there, but we do it a lot. I think I do it maybe twice a week during summer. Like stay up late, go to the sauna at like 11 p.m. and then jump into the lake.
Mhm. That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. And the sun's still up. And then you have maybe a fireplace next to it, and you go put some grill barbecue marshmallows or whatever.
Nice. Nice.
A lot of people also do it. They have like in every gym you go to, there's a sauna. So if you want to shower after working out, you have a sauna there because it's good for rehab, and it's also part of like it's just something you do.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. I don't know why it came to my mind, but what's if you have to, well, differentiate all those Scandinavian countries, how would you say Sweden is different from Finland, Norway, and Denmark? What are the things that are typical Swedish when you compare the other countries?
That's pretty difficult because we claim to be different and we claim to be but we're not like them, you know. But it's not much different. Like it's not a big difference. We all, as a culture, we all love a good party.
Hmm.
When there's a party, it's a big one, and people drink like crazy. When there's everyday work and people go do their regular everyday business, it's not that big of a difference either. I think it's more of a difference of what we eat and what we do traditionally, like during the day, maybe. Like Fika, it's a very Swedish thing. Sauna, very Finnish thing. Mostly, I think some part of Finland, they do it every day. I think Denmark is a big food kind of eating problem where they're so proud of their food, even if it's very overrated. And then Norway, they have their nature and their oil, and they're very proud of it. But as people, we're not that different. The culture is very similar.
The way I'm not trying to put Sweden on top of those countries, but the way I see it internationally, it's probably the most popular out of the four. No?
I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
I mean,
terms of
you have some big names come out of Sweden they put us pretty high. We have like everything from Zlatan to ABBA to Spotify to IKEA.
yeah,
We have some big brands that put our Sweden on the map. You know, I don't know if Norway has as many. Um, or
probably not.
Denmark has Legos, but not everyone knows that
Yeah,
Lego is
nope.
Danish.
Yeah,
IKEA,
I-
everyone knows.
yeah. That's the thing actually. One thing that Sweden does well is putting like a Swedish marketing between
Mm,
the brand and in the world. I would say.
yeah,
You know IKEA is Swedish, you know Zlatan is Swedish, you know ABBA. Most people know it's Swedish, they are Swedish.
yeah. But then we also have we're very big in like pop culture music producing. We have like I don't know if you know Ludwig Göransson as big like movie music producer, and he made the music for like Wakanda, the Black Panther, for I think one of the Hobbit movies or something.
Mhm.
Uh, but a lot of big ones. So like we have, and then you have Sara Larsson, which is more. And you have Max Martin, is a producer who made all the big hits during the 2000s. So Sweden has a little finger in the game in a lot of places.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I think we've covered most things about Swedish people. The point I want to get to is sports in general, because that's how we've met as well, football in general.
Yeah.
So we're gonna discuss this football, but also the sports culture in general in Sweden. So give us an idea of the place of football in society, but also if there are room for other sports, give us the main ones.
Well, primarily, our national sport is football. That is the biggest thing. That is what rallies the most people. That is what most people care about. The Swedish national team is huge. It's so important for us. That together with ice hockey are our biggest two. Ice hockey is not as big in the big cities in down south. It's more the more north you get, the bigger it is for that city. But when the national team plays, it's big everywhere. When the youth national team plays in hockey, it's one of the biggest events of the year. So hockey and football are really, really way up there. But then you have all the winter skiing sports, the Winter Olympics game, like those kind of sports, the alpine skiing, cross country skiing, curling, stuff like that. Especially this Olympics. I don't know if you saw anything, but curling had a big upswing this year. I don't know if you guys had the same in France. No, you don't care.
I watched, but France is only good in the one when you shoot and you ski at the same time. Biathlon.
Yeah, that's true. You almost beat us. For us, football is the biggest, and then hockey is, I would say, by far, but it's not really. Hockey is pretty big too. But then all the skiing stuff is big too. But then we also have, I don't know if you play this, but you play floorball. It's like
Like tell me about
inside hockey, but on floor.
on grass?
No, inside on the like it's. Have you played? You know handball?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same kind of feel as that, but you have like a low wall around, and you
Okay.
have 5v5 play similar to ice hockey game.
Okay.
So that sport is pretty big as well in Sweden. So we have that together with, I think it's us, Finland, Switzerland, the Czech,
Yeah.
Slovakia, and those countries.
Mhm.
We're all playing like at the really high level. It's really, really fun game. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend to look up some highlights of floorball. It's good.
I probably won't,
No, that's
but
fine. That's fine.
I'll check out the sport. I don't think I'll watch a 20-minute video about this.
No. You can watch a 30-second clip, but
Yeah,
just
exactly.
get an idea of what it is.
No, but it's that's true. I think I've heard of it, but I didn't know it was a big thing in Sweden actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing in Sweden, but it's not like big market wise. The people that are the best of playing that, they make a lot of money. But if you play second tier or something, there's about no money so it's not that big of a sport yet that generates a lot of. It's not a very attractive for young talent. If you have to pick between soccer and floorball or ice hockey or floorball, then they're probably gonna pick hockey or football because it's a bigger chance to live on it. You know.
Yeah. Talking about this actually, tell me about this football system. How it works in Sweden, how well you recommend people to go, or in general.
We have uh, nothing out of the ordinary, really. We are all the way down from Korpen, which is like Sunday League, and then you have Division 5, Division 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Mhm.
1. Most of it in the beginning is regional. The further up you go, the bigger the area you play in between. It's nothing out of the ordinary there. Second division is called Superettan. First division is called Allsvenskan. I think we were like ranked 19 in Europe with the
Mhm.
first division, which is not that good, but we have a massive supporter culture. Like our fan culture here is incredible. I was down in Stockholm just 10 days ago watching the Stockholm Derby between Djurgården and AIK, which is like the big two Stockholm teams. And the big tifos before the game, they had flares on the entire game. They had to pause the game twice because there was too much smoke on the field. You know,
Wow.
it's supporter culture is a big thing in the big league. But unfortunately, we're not competing in Europe. We're not competing up there. So the highest level is not really. You're not playing against Barcelona. You know.
Yeah.
But it's a big step. A lot of players that play in Allsvenskan and do it well, they go straight to Premier League or they go to the Dutch league or some of them go to Spain. We had one of the big fours, he played for one of the big teams in Sweden and he got signed for Alaves in Spain. And he just scored a goal that beat Barca 1-0 just a few weeks ago. So that guy played in Sweden last year. It's a good market, and we have a good reputation of having good characters. So if they pick between two players that have the similar quality, a lot of times they pick the Swede or the Scandinavian because we're very hardworking people. We accept when things go against us, but we never give up.
That's fair. Yeah, very cultural players in general.
So it's like, oh, this might not be what I wanted, but we keep doing it anyways, instead of just saying, screw this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've seen it, but some do that.
Yeah, it's pretty common in the regions I live. But yeah, so yeah, actually that makes me think about most good players or good Swedish players, they end up going abroad really early in their career because if you want to go to a higher level, then you have more exposure in the top 5 countries or top 6, 7. Of course, we have to talk about Zlatan because there's
Yeah,
no way we do an episode about Sweden with
absolutely.
yeah. So tell me about the importance of Zlatan in Sweden, but also like in terms of mentality or probably role model.
Well, yeah, it's like three different kinds of Zlatan. You have the young Zlatan, which is a bit rough, a bit just saying whatever he feels,
Hmm.
uh, and is an animal in the field. And sometimes he kicks someone in the face, you know.
Hmm.
And then you have the more mature Zlatan, senior Zlatan, who is uh, one of the greatest forwards ever, but also like a really mean, tough guy, you know.
Hmm.
He looks like he's always angry
Yeah.
on the field, at least, and he's always like shoving people, elbowing, stirring things up. And now you have the older Zlatan, which is more like he does commercials, he's smiling, he's laughing, he's more realizes that maybe he has some wisdom to share, even
Hmm.
though like sometimes you hear it and it's, yeah, he has a point, and most of the time it's like, come on. Oh. But now he's the greatest Swede ever.
Yeah.
We have some discussions sometimes, me and my friends, like who's the biggest Swedish athlete ever? And he's always mentioned, like
Yeah.
regardless of sport, he's always mentioned because he is the biggest we've ever had.
Which one would be like in competition with him?
Well, we have the evigt gröna trädet, you know?
No.
Oh, no, he won ping pong Olympics in China. He's like the most famous. If you ask everyone in the world, do you know who this is? All of Asia knows who Gio Wallner is.
Okay.
So he's a ping pong player, and he beat the best of the best in China.
Okay.
So he's massive. But then you have Sara Sjöström. She won like not similar, but kind of like Michael Phelps did in swimming for the men's side. Sara Sjöström did that at like 19 for the female side. So she's unbelievable. She's
Okay.
massive, great career. Then you have some others that I can't come. Björn Borg, the tennis player.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Yeah. Bjorn Borg, for me, it was between the two.
He was incredible as well. But we have a lot of ice hockey players that are like top tier. Maybe some of them want to compete of being top 20 players of all time in the sport. But since we have like 2 or 3, and it's hard to pick in between the Swedish hockey players, none of them really stand out as the one. Zlatan stands out as the number one in football by far.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think about the upcoming generation in Sweden?
I think I mean, a lot of countries probably say this, but we have a lot of talent. We just need to get the best out of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you guys say the same because France has a lot of talent now.
Yeah, well, maybe we have too much, maybe.
Yeah. But actually, if we want to talk about France a second here, what happens with your squad? Where's the midfield?
Yeah. Well, it's taking a break. We have Pogba that's in the freezer waiting to.
Kante might not be the same Kante, but still Kante. And then you
Yeah.
have Rabiot and Chouameni.
Chouameni is probably our best midfielder.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
yeah, that's true. We actually don't produce as much midfielders, probably because our playing style is really like you're a good defender, you're strong, and you're a good forward. You can create difference. Like it's a very individual tactic. That's how we are
Yeah, maybe.
shifting to in the academies.
Yeah, I see. Because you don't have like the Vitinhas, Pedris, the Declan Rice kind of players, you know.
No, we don't. We don't. because exactly as I said, when you're in an academy, the player that's going to stand out is the forwards or the center backs that can easily switch to fullbacks. But
Yeah,
yeah, we don't produce as much. We're not really focused on technique as much.
yeah. Well, that's funny because we're the opposite, kind of. We have a lot of team players, a lot of midfielders, hard workers, but we don't have a lot of those X factor, like deciding players. We have Alexander Isak, who's been in the freezer this year.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, the
What do you
current.
think? What do you think about him?
I think he's rough. He's probably really tough to play against, but he's technically not superb. He is
Mhm.
not the fastest, but he will create and he will be like really tough to play for the defenders. So he might
Yeah.
win a offensive free kick. He might run in behind and get something. If you look past him and if you don't take him into account, he will score on you. So,
Yeah. No, definitely.
but then we also have Kulusevski, which is I think he looks a bit strange. It looks like you remember Ilicic from Atalanta. Looks a bit like him. It's a bit strange seeing them run. It's not as fast, but they're very efficient. Very so much quality on left foot.
I
So we
rate him
hope
a
he
lot.
gets fit and he can play, but apparently he's not ready for the World Cups.
Mm.
That's very unfortunate.
But yeah, Kulusevski, I rate him a lot actually. This is probably one of the underrated players.
Yeah, he's really good. He also, I think he has number 44 because of his idol, Januzaj.
That's great. That's a crazy idol. You have a good squad. I think Sweden was at its peak, of course, when Zlatan was there. But maybe it's always a team that's a bit difficult to play against. Very solid, very organized.
I mean, we have good players. We have like our entire back line is either Premier League or Serie A. We have a midfield which is Premier League, Bundesliga, Serie A. We
Mhm.
have our front three is if we take Elanga, Isak, Gyökeres, that's 3 Premier League players.
That's true.
It might not be super sexy on paper, but it's a lot of quality there. So who knows? It could be something good. We also have Graham Potter now as coach, which is fun. So hopefully he gets something out of it.
Yeah. Well, World Cup is coming, so we'll see how that turns out. And finally, we're gonna finish with the like a quick fire type of question. So like you get like a few questions, and then if you need to elaborate or to talk more about the thing, just do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so the best Swedish city.
Örnsköldsvik, my city.
I don't know about this city actually.
Yeah, you can try to pronounce it. Örnsköldsvik.
No, I'm not going to.
You can say Övik.
Vik.
Otherwise, I vote Gothenburg.
To Stockholm? No.
No,
Okay.
too
Wow,
busy.
that's good. Original. The best spot if you're going on a holidays to visit.
High coast, which is like northern coast, calm, easy, not as many tourists, very chill, you remote, or you can get some part of the skärgård in English. It's like just outside the city, a lot of rivers, a lot of small islands, both around Stockholm or around Gothenburg. There are lots.
Okay. Okay, and like what kind of tourism do you get? Like hikers or?
Oh, hikers or just people want to see the big city and go hang around in Stockholm or Gothenburg. It's either way.
Okay. Okay. The next is the best Swedish food.
Meatballs, potatoes, brown sauce, and lingonberries. That's it.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Uh,
I'll have to put a picture on to show people.
yeah. You can take the IKEA model. It's sold it there.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. What's a false stereotype about Sweden?
That it's always cold here.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
it's not true. We have warm today. We have shorts and t-shirt weather.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And it's only May, so it lasts until when the warmer weather?
Beginning of September.
Yeah, so pretty much like a northern European country.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your favorite celebrity from Sweden, Zlatan. Not original, but
No,
that makes
has
sense.
to be.
Yeah.
Can I think of something else?
I mean,
Same.
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I think that's everything. So the podcast is going to be available on social media, but also on my YouTube channel, also on Spotify. So yeah, thank you, Isak.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope we learned a lot from Sweden today because I did actually. I learned some things. And stay tuned for another episode.